G'day Aussie gamers and welcome to a bit of a special edition show here today. I am Snoogans and with me is my good mate Grejio. How you doing, mate?
Good, yourself?
Good. Yeah, not too bad. Grejio is with me to showcase a bit of his work that he's been doing of late. I suppose you could call it work. It's fun, but it's still a bit of work involved.
What's the word you'd use? Escapes me. Labour of love?
Labour of love, that's a good one. To show a bit of what we're talking about, have a look at this little video clip. As you can see there, Grejio's made us a very specific livery made in Forza Horizon 3.
Correct.
Yep, sweet. Yes, on a Subi.
Subi, yep.
Mid-90s model, wasn't it? Was it early 90s?
Early 90s.
Early 90s model.
Mid-early.
Yeah. It's a Subi.
You'll get it.
I'll get there eventually.
Yeah.
Mate, probably the biggest question to ask is where'd you get started with doing liveries? Like what made you do it? I myself have tried my hand at a few, which you've been quite gracious and yeah, mate, they look fantastic.
I never lie to you. They look good.
They look good, but they're not as detailed, obviously, as what you've got out there. So,
sure.
Mate, yeah, what kicked it on? What brought along the passion to get started in it?
Well, if I have to go back and think about it, I mean, within Forza, I've been playing Forza since Forza 2 on Xbox, and I've been doing liveries on there since Forza 2, essentially. But yeah, I'd probably have to say it goes back further. I mean, even in school, I like drawing, I like doing art. Obviously, I don't get as much time these days at work and whatnot to do those kinds of things.
Yeah, being an adult.
Yeah, being grown up. But the one time where I'm not a grown up and I get to play my computer games, I guess I get to share two passions at once, kill two birds with one stone. I get to play my video games and I get to create works of art, in my mind anyway.
No, well, they definitely are. We'll have some playing up as we go along and have a chat.
Sure. And
show the sort of things that you're doing. Mate, on average, what sort of time frame? If you're looking sort of a well, to throw in the ballpark, the one that you did for the Aussie gamers Subi.
Right.
What sort of time frame did that take you to actually make?
All right. Once I have all the elements in play, putting the car together is actually pretty quick. So once I had all the elements together for the age one, it took me about 2 hours to lay out what I wanted on the car.
Okay.
However,
what about making that train?
Making the emblem for Aussie gamers, that's the time sink right there. That, and some people will go, you're insane once I say this figure, but it took me 9 hours.
Jesus.
That's 9 hours, and I sat and I timed it because I knew you'd ask that question. Having said that, there is nothing on that car that, in the way of labeling and decals, that I didn't create myself. So the STI badge, the Falcon badge, the Twitter signs on it, I created all of those. The STI logo, for example, took 2 hours by itself to make.
Jesus.
So some of the backgrounds are pre-made stuff. So like the jigsaw puzzles, they're a pre-made thing in the game. The tears, the flecks through the blue. Obviously the cross hatching on the roof, I just created that with a bunch of squares of different colours. And the tears, they're all a standard vinyl thing. So once I had the logos all set out, it was about 2 hours to put the car together.
That's a lot of sync into it.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, well, mate, well, what do they say? The proof's in the pudding. It's something that absolutely looks fantastic. And the other cars that I've seen you do, and I've actually sat there and watched you do it in person, and it hurts my head. I don't know how personally you do it, but the proof's there in the end. There's some phenomenal stuff, mate. So what sort of reach have you had on it? You've been telling me you've had quite a few people actually come and approach you.
Yeah, I've started to get some people approach me, which is nice. It's nice to have people recognise the work I'm doing. I had one guy that literally all he did was he just said, look, just sent me a message on Xbox Live saying, hey, I just wanted to let you know that I really like your work, thumbs up. And I mean, it was the first time it ever happened. I was really woo, kind of thing.
Yeah, that's
I have a fan.
that's the good side of the internet that we never see, right there.
Yeah. Good side of Xbox Live, really.
Yeah.
Besides all the people that go, you're a cheater. You can't switch that fun. What the? I finally got some, fan mail, and I was stoked, and I was so happy. I actually sent back a message saying, look, is there a piece of work that you like? How about I customize one of those for you? And he was elated, and I did. He told me I've got a bunch of liveries that are based around drifting. He picked one that I've specifically created from scratch, and I gave it a whole new color scheme on the car he wanted, and I put his gamer tag into it, and I put it up there, and he loved it. And anyway, he was, what can I say? He really liked it. He followed me on Xbox Live. He now sends me a message every now and then, cool. Saying, hey. So off the back of that, I decided that I'd create a Twitter page for my work. And shortly after that, an Instagram page. And on Twitter, only about a week ago, I had someone message me on Twitter saying, I was just looking through your stuff. Me and my mates, we have a clan on Forza Horizon. There's a livery that we're all looking for, and no one's done it. Do you mind having a crack at it? And I said, look, sure. I gave him sort of the layout, saying, look, hey, this is how long it'll probably take, and this is how long it will take me to do it, and then extrapolate that into the times that I can actually play and all that. So, and he was happy, and so I got to work on that, and I sent him a progress report on it only yesterday. And he came back, and he's also super happy, which is nice. So I've even had someone message me at work on my work email. A guy that I work with, there's a forum at work we have for gaming, and he saw some of my stuff, and he flicked me a message once again saying, hey, do you mind having a crack in this livery? And so I'm starting to get all sorts of places. People are trying to grab me and say, hey, do you want to have a crack at this? And all that. So
cool. And I understand you're making a bit of let's call it virtual coin.
Well, the what's the word? The way the game works. It's so for every livery I create, I put it up, I upload it. Sorry, and it's out there for people to download and put on their cars. Yep. So for every time it gets downloaded, I get money within the game to spend on more cars. Every time it gets used from that download, I get more money, and then there's also likes. I get money for when people like them. Funnily enough, the hardest thing to get is likes. Lots of people download it and use it, but they never think to like it. But and when I'm looking at stuff, I always make sure that if I really like it, I like it, because I know how cool it is to have someone like your stuff. So that's nice. I mean, some people will turn around and go, you spent 11 hours to get 2,000 in-game credits. You're mad. But like I said, it's a labor of love, so I enjoy doing it, and yeah.
Well, it's definitely something that you've come along quite a way with different ones that you've done and different ways that you're doing it now. So, is there a next step? Is there somewhere higher you can go?
So, I mean, art-wise, it's always a way to go. I'm always learning new ways and new things to do and new ways to get a new effect, and so that's always a continual learning process. And I'll go trawling through other people's stuff, and see what they're doing and get ideas off them, and then try and recreate what they've done. Because sometimes I'm just like, how the hell did they do that?
Yeah.
I got to try that. As for me and what I'm doing and where they can take me, ultimately, who wouldn't like to get paid for what they do? That would be nice. And I don't mean I get Forza bucks so I can buy the next supercar. I mean, I can just race and get more money from racing than I do from liveries. But
I have heard a rumour about a few people on Forza with their different liveries, and maybe you can confirm if it's true or not, that some of these people have actually had their liveries taken into the real world.
Yeah, look, it's a bit of a vice, one of those things. As much as I spend time recreating things in real life, there are people who are using this as a medium to create liveries that then people can use in the real world. People like them. I've seen certain drift cars. I like. Once again, this is kind of a weird scenario. I didn't know he was going to ask me this question, but I do have a story attached to this. I have a guy at work.
Curveball every now and again.
I have a friend at work. He's building a drift car, and we were just discussing how he was going to make the car look. I was genuinely interested because obviously I'm interested in this medium, so why not in every other? And I asked him, I said, what do you want to do? And he sort of threw some ideas at me, and I said, you know what, how about I have a crack at making kind of what you want in the game and see if that works for you. You can sort of get a preview of what it's going to look like. And he was really happy with that idea. So he gave me some pictures of his car, so I knew what color it was, and I recreated the color in the game. And then I sort of got he wanted a sort of a tribal-esque kind of looking thing with a lot of chrome, and so I gave it a shot. Okay, I laid out one style on one side, and then I flipped over the other side, and I tried something else on the other side, and then I took photos of both sides, and I sent to myself at work, and then I showed him at work and said, what do you think? And he's like, yeah, that one right there, that's the style I'm looking for. And I was like, cool.
So is he going to put it on?
I hope so.
Hope so?
Last I heard, he was almost thinking about selling it, so it may never get finished. But who knows? If it does, I'll be stoked, because I'll be one of those people that has the livery before the car even existed.
Yeah.
I'll have the monopoly on it.
Brilliant. Good stuff, mate. Well, mate, give yourself a plug.
All right. Well, you can. My gamer tag is Grejio, which is Grejio. So you can find me on Xbox. On Twitter, it's Grejio XBL. So once again, Grejio XBL. And the same for Instagram. Hit me up, say hi. If you have something that you'd like to have a look at, cool.
Throw him something really curvy.
Yeah, please don't. No, whatever. I'll have a crack. I'll have a crack at it. I'll tell you if I can't, if it's beyond my abilities. I was thinking, actually, to plug you guys as much as me. I was thinking that if anyone gets on my Twitter or Instagram, says a hi and tags both you and me in either the tweet or the or in Instagram, I was thinking I'd pick one from each, just a random person that does that, and I'll create not a complete livery for you because I've got 3 liveries on the go at the moment. But what I will do is I'll take the Aussie Gamers car and I'll put their gamer tag on it and
Sweet.
make an individual one for them with their gamer tag on it. So
Well, there you go, guys. Hit him up. Say good day. Drop him a like and whatever else you do on Twitter and Instagram.
retweet, tweet. Yeah, look, I'll put something up on Twitter about the H car, and if you retweet it and like it on Twitter, and if you comment on it on Instagram, I'll pick a random person, one from each, and I'll add your game tag to the car, and I'll get in contact with you about how we'll get the car to you.
Sounds like a plan.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks a lot, mate.
No,
And
thank you.
make sure you hit him up, have a look, and
Say hi.
Say hi.
Yeah.
Make sure you jump on board and actually have a look at some of the liveries as well. They're pretty fantastic. So thanks for coming, mate, and thanks for having a chat with us, and see you out there.
Cheers.
Cheers.